Okay, so I've done a lot of vacuum cleaner reviews in the past, and I was recently offered to be sent for a review this Roborock H6 Adapt, and I had a look at it because I'd not heard of Roborock before. They're not a big presence in the UK, but I see that Walmart sells them in the US, and I've seen quite a few reviews, and I thought it looked interesting. And part of the reason I thought it looked interesting is if you've watched any of my vacuum cleaner videos, and I've done about nearly 30 of them. A lot of them revolve around Dyson, and I have my own Dyson. This is a V7, so it's bottom of the range Dyson at the moment, but it's served me very well. I've had it for a couple of years now, and it works great. It's only a 30-minute battery life, but for this house, which is a 4-bedroom with mostly hard floors, I can do the whole house with it, and I haven't had an issue. But I always use it on low power because the battery only lasts for half an hour. If I use it on high power, it doesn't last very long at all. But again, not an issue to me. I love this machine, and it works incredibly well. And what I like about the Roborock is it looks incredibly similar. So when we look at things like, well, if I bring it closer to you, so when we look at the stick, obviously the stick colour is the same because I've got a Total Clean Dyson. It's the Roborock on the left of the screen, and you can see that the actual attachment where it goes together is pretty much the same. And when it comes to the floor tool, so the Dyson is the one behind, you can see that it's a very, very similar design. Now, this is a good thing because actually the design of these Dysons, the V7, I think was one of the first ones where they got it pretty much spot on. And it works incredibly well. So what's really nice, and I'll put my Dyson down now. So a great thing about this type of design compared to a lot of others is it's super easy to take apart. So it doesn't offer very much resistance. This is incredibly similar to Dyson as well. Even the colours, even the charger is very similar as well. But also, I have to say the build quality feels incredibly similar. It does feel really solid, and it does feel really well put together and really well made. You can see here we can turn this anti-clockwise and take the brush roller out. Again, the same as the Dyson. So the actual machine itself is similar but not the same. So the way it empties is a little bit different. So if I press this power button, you'll see the display comes up, and it's great to have a display because you know exactly where you are. So 100%, it's obviously fully charged. There is a lock here, and this is unlocked, and the other one is locked. So if I press that, you can see that that's locked. So what that means is if I press the trigger, it stays on. And then when I press the lock, it goes off. So when it's on unlocked mode, the trigger is on and off. So same way a Dyson would be, but some people do request that lock on feature, and it's a nice way it's done. It's not with a clip or something that's likely to break. It's a micro switch button, which is very, very handy. So I put some porridge oats on the floor and I've scrubbed them in so the dust is a bit further into the carpet, and I haven't vacuumed today, so there is ordinary day-to-day stuff in there as well. So let's see how well it picks up on low power. You can see on the display here, this changes the power, this button on the back. So if I press it, medium, high and low. So this is on low power. And you can hear it change. It actually changes the noise of the motor when it's picking up, and that's because it detects carpet, so it detects that there's more resistance. Yeah, I can see it pulling the pile up as well, so that's doing a pretty decent job on low power. So nothing left behind there at all really. So let's try it on medium power, so press that. I mean, to be fair, it picked it up on low power, so I don't really need to do the medium power test, but I will do anyway. So you can see here that there is a lot in this bin, and just from picking up, I mean, to be fair, there was 2 cups of porridge oats, but it's also picked up various different hairs and things, and I can see that it's lifted the pile on the rug. It won't show up on camera so much, but it definitely is using decent suction, and it is a powerful brush. It really is agitating it. And to be fair, my V7 is a couple of years old now, and so the brush is a bit worn, so it doesn't rough it up in quite the same way. So this feels like it's doing more of a job. It's a brand new machine, and a more expensive machine as well. So you would expect that. But yeah, that looks pretty decent. Right, I need to get a box to empty it in. So to empty, what you need to do is just push down on this button on the back here. So you can see that flips out. Give it a shake, give it a tap, and that will get most things out. You can see there is some stuff left in here. Now that isn't a problem because you can get that out, and you can either pop your fingers in there and pull that out, and that's pretty much clear. But if you had anything that was a bit further up that you couldn't get rid of, turn it upside down, and this comes off very easily. So you can see I've got full access to the bin, and I've also got full access to this. One of the things that the Dyson does is it actually skirts down and actually pushes anything bulky down. So that could definitely be a thing for the next version of this, because it is nice to not have to put your hand in there. But most other machines do exactly the same. It's nice to feel that everything is solid and everything comes apart and goes back together incredibly well. So, you know, there are some cleaners on the market that to do something like that and then pop it back on again, you would really struggle with. And the same with the filter, but I'll show the filter in a minute. So that popping open and closing, and you can see how quick that whizzes it around. Okay, so let's have a look at the filters. So the top filter here, if I twist that around, comes out nice and easily, and it says after washing the filter, please make sure to dry before use. This is the HEPA filter, so if I lock that in place, there you go. I'll try and do this all in one take just to show how easy it is. Flip that body off, and you can see that you've got access to all of the bin, nice and easy to clean, very dusty with porridge. Twist this round, and you can see that comes off super easy, and nothing has got through to the motor. So this is lovely and clean, and that's because there's a decent seal here, and if I pop that down, and there is a decent seal here, this is your main filter. Now if I flip that out, it is just a rubber filter, and this is where all the gunk goes in, but you don't want it to get through to the motor obviously, so it's good that this makes a good seal. Now if you have a look at this little clip here, that needs to be in place for it to work, so it won't work without you having this filter in, which is a good way of doing it, because obviously you definitely don't want to put that in without that filter. So pop that in place. You can see that this bit sits in, so you know exactly where it's going to be. That's nicely in place. So line these bits up, flip it round, that goes in nicely, and that clicks in place, and it works. So let's have a look at all the accessories that come with it. Okay, just before I show all the accessories, I wanted to show this, and what you can see here is there is a gap, and there's wheels here which raise up this brush bar. This is really important for hard floors, because there are some machines on the market that aren't very powerful, don't have very good suction. So what they do is they decrease this space between the floor and the brush. So what it means is it pushes pretty much everything along on a hard floor. On a carpet, usually what will happen is it will kind of go into the carpet and it will ride over it. But on a hard floor, it's really important that they put these wheels in. And you can see that my Dyson has got it as well. There's two wheels either side, and there is a gap. Now, some things are going to be too big, and I did look on the Walmart reviews, and someone had given a very low score for this machine on hard floor. But I don't think it's fair, because I know that pretty much every machine with a brush roller like this will push along something like a Cheerio, or in my case dried cat food. You can pick up and drop on it, and that will pick it up fine. But the only way to make sure that you pick something up like that is something like the Dyson Fluffy Head, which is completely open. Now, Shark do something like this, but I'm not fond of the implementation of having the two brushes all the time. I think that if you're going to do it, have two separate brushes. But this really is no issue at all, because these floor tools are very light and easy to drop on top of what you're trying to pick up. But just bear in mind that on hard floors, bigger items. Now this will pick up quite decent size items on both of these. In fact, I think it's ever so slightly more raised on the Roborock, and this comes from confidence in having good suction, a good motor, and a good system all through, so you know that it's still going to pick up. Because I did find that, you know, with the porridge dust it picked it up really well, but I am going to hoover the whole house, and most of my house is hard floor, and I'll let you know at the end of the video how I get on. But I have confidence in this because that is a decent gap, and it basically means that it's ramped so it will rise over certain things. But if you've got no resistance at all, yes, it's going to push certain things along. But this is really common in vacuum cleaners. Dyson do the same. The only way you can get over it is with the fluffy head. Now I don't know if there is a fluffy head for Roborocks, but that would be something good for them to do, something like that, which is super open, but it maintains the suction because it's got this sort of sponginess. So yeah, that would be a good tip. But yeah, let's see how we get on. There probably is some dried cat food on the floor. My cats have been eating this morning, and we'll see how that goes. So let's see all the accessories laid out and show you what comes with it, because it's impressive. It's a good array of accessories that come with this. Okay, so you can see loads of stuff comes with it. I'm not going to go through the dock because I think that's pretty much explained in pictures, but it is a dock and it will charge. Obviously the charger, exactly the same colour as a Dyson charger. This is a European one because they didn't have a UK one at the time, but obviously it will be sorted out for UK markets. Just some screws to put the dock on the wall. Then we have the tools. Now this is a really great tool. This comes with some Dysons, the Flexi tool, and for dusting this is so invaluable. So if you put something like the crevice tool into there, and again you can see this goes together, it holds really tight, but at the same time it comes apart super easy. So I'm actually looking at this, and if this said Dyson on it, I would have believed it. And I've sold Dyson for years. I would have just, if someone said to me, oh, it's the new Dyson, and I didn't see a label on it, I genuinely would think it was a Dyson, which is testament to the quality of it, because you know, a lot of other cleaners on the market, I test a lot of cleaners, and sometimes, you know, price is very important, and some of the cheaper machines are cheap, but then you know, they're cheap for a reason. This is asking for a highish price, but it comes with a load of accessories. It's got an incredible battery life. It ticks a lot of boxes. I'm actually very impressed. I didn't think I was going to be, but I'm actually very impressed. So crevice tool, flexi crevice, but then you also have this dusting tool, which is great. So this has got soft bristles on the end of it, and that goes on the machine. And again, super easy to clip it on. And if I want to get up some of this flour that's here, you can see that, and you can get in amongst edges. This is my favoured way to dust, because with the duster you're pushing dust around. So I actually did a separate video on this very tool, but the Dyson one, just saying how good it was, because on my machine it didn't come with it, and I bought one separately, and it's great. I use it an awful lot. So really nice to see that it comes with that. Obviously the brush tool is great. Crevice tool, every vacuum cleaner comes with a crevice tool. This would be the sort of tool that I would generally say was for cleaning the car, because it's got a motorized brush in it and it's powered. So some of them in the past have been powered by air, which is not good, because a cordless cleaner will usually have less suction because it's relying on a battery. That said, the suction is incredible now on cordless cleaners, but to have it motorized means that it's not using the air to drive these brushes. So that's good for upholstery. And also, I mean, some people use it for the stairs. I would use the main tool, and I will be in a minute when I hoover the house. I'll be using the main tool to do the stairs, because it's twice as wide, so it will take me less time. But good for the car, good for upholstery. So nice again to see that. And the hose, again, you've got the two power cords here with a protection on it, so you can't get it wrong. There's only one way you can put it on, and that works very well. And then we've kind of already covered the floor tool, but this is articulated, and you can see it moves from side to side. You've got these quite big wheels as well, and as I was going on about, this raised bit, which is very important. Really nice thick bristles. You can see there's some of my daughter and my wife's hair. They both got long hair, that wraps around the rollers. I haven't seen a machine that doesn't wrap hair around rollers. Now, loads of companies claim to have technology that does it, and it minimises it. It's definitely better, but you're always going to get hair around the rollers. It's just a given. But it's very easy to do. I just go along with some scissors, cut it out, and clear it out once in a while, and it doesn't have an issue. So I'm going to do the vacuuming, and then I'm going to sum up what I think of the machine. Oh, and also I didn't say it comes with quite a big instruction book. Now, where's the English start? Yeah, so English from here. So what's that about? About 30 pages of English. So nice detailed instructions and a quick user guide. Right, so let's go and hoover the house. I'll see you in a minute. Well, several minutes. Okay, so I have hoovered the whole house, and as you can see, there's quite a lot in there. Obviously, the porridge was from the test, but it has picked up a huge amount, and it's done a really good job of pulling up the pile on the carpet, especially my daughter's carpet, which you'll have seen in the clips, which was the sort of light tone, very thick carpet. It did a good job on that. Now, what I said before about how you empty it, let's just pull this up a little bit. So when you press this button, that flips the bottom open, and you definitely do get hair and fluff stuck up in here, but you can actually just twist this out, and I didn't realize this before. So that's another way to get to that filter, and if you get the angle right, it goes back in quite nicely as well. So that's pretty good actually. Now, I still don't think that particular bit is as easy as the way the Dyson does it, because that pulls this bit up and it swipes down. So I think that would be, if there was an improvement to be made, that would be it. Very, very minor, because as you can see, that took a couple of seconds. But the massive thing about having this amazing battery life, so if I press that button, 56% it's still on, and I meant to use it on low power, but I ended up using it on medium power. I don't know if I accidentally pressed the button or if it switched. But it still has really good battery life left. Even though I've done all these tests, I've been picking up porridge, I've been messing about with it, and it is still really strong. Okay, so the Roborock definitely performs really well. I'm super impressed with it. It's at the end of the day, it's going to be down to what price it is compared to what else is on the market. But it is really strong. It's the weight of it is good. The battery life is great. The filtration seems really decent. I like the overall feel of it when you're using it on carpet, and the way that it moves about. The weight of the head is right, because a lot of manufacturers get it wrong and they put too much weight on here and not enough weight on the floor. And what it means is it kind of bounces up and down on carpet. This doesn't do any of that. This feels like a Dyson. And I'm super impressed. So thanks to Roborock for letting me try it out, and thanks very much for watching. Please like and subscribe.